Hey everyone, I want to welcome you back to Module 4. And what we're going to talk about now is building your first local cash machine. And before we get into building the first local cash machine, I just want to go back and talk a little bit about some industries to avoid. Okay, these are just a couple of industries that through the years I haven't had the most luck with, and they vary in reason. Hold on just one second. I'm so sorry about that. My cat's got to get out of this room. Sorry about that. I have a cat that's deaf and he's got the loudest meow. But anyway, these are some industries that I don't like to go into. Some of the reasons are competition, like mortgages can be extremely tough, or refinancing. Some lawyers can be extremely competitive, and also I got some advice from my uncle who's an attorney. He actually teaches law, and he had advised me not to really do business with lawyers because if anything ever goes wrong when you're servicing them, it's very easy for them to just write a piece of paper and bring a lawsuit or bring some trouble against you. And it costs them absolutely nothing to do. It's no it's hardly any extra work on their part. So I just tend to avoid them by all means. Someone needs to service them. There's no reason you couldn't. I wouldn't start with them. And then doctors too, especially general practice doctors. What I found when I was starting out, and I've tested it again since then, is a lot of general practice doctors and regular old doctors, they have enough business. They have more than enough business. Specialty doctors, on the other hand, or acupuncturists, chiropractors, businesses like those, they do advertise a lot, but generally general medicine doctors don't. Handyman. I did a couple jobs for some handymen before, and the biggest problem with handymen a lot of times is that they're not capitalized very well, so they don't have much money to spend on advertising. So that would be a type of business that I wouldn't go after. I wouldn't go after real lower dollar services. Well, I do like to go after like higher end beauty salons and hair salons. I do tend to avoid like nail salons mainly because they're very low dollar. A lot of times like a spa or a beauty salon, they'll offer those services, but I won't generally target just a nail salon or say a tanning salon because a lot of towns that I've come across, there are very few of those businesses. The other type of service, and I do apologize for saying so much. You do have to excuse me. I will try not to say it so much. I also like to avoid retail businesses. They're sometimes tougher to advertise for. It's hard to pick the right keywords for them. They generally don't have like a very high dollar value per customer. Specialty retail shops you could deal with, but I generally avoid retail altogether. I also, and you also, you want to avoid businesses without too much competition. A few people asked me about this, and what I want to do is I want you to go to yellowpages.com, okay? And from there, just go over to popular categories and then click on see all categories. And this is going to give you all the different categories. And sometimes, like possibly motorcycle dealers, like this would be a category where you see there's only 23 dealers in the Hartford area, and a lot of these dealers aren't even in Hartford. They're maybe 20 miles away. So I would generally tend to avoid a category like this. Now, landscape contractors, we might want to have a look at. Yeah, like you look at landscape contractors, okay, and these are in the Hartford area. You're going to be dealing with some businesses that are right outside of Hartford, but you can see there's plenty. We can even narrow this down. I think we could say Hartford Center, uh, and that brings us down to one. We can look at category. These are all different subcategories. You can see, like if you look, like a lot of these are just totally different subcategories. Like this would be a whole new category altogether. Like for instance, like tree service, that's a totally different category than just landscaping. So you could do a site for tree service. Not sure. Let's see how many. There's probably quite a few of the tree services. Yeah, there's 182 of those. So not only do you have Hartford landscapers, you have, you know, tree service in Hartford or Hartford tree service, that type of thing. But try and avoid these categories that just, under 30. If you're going to see less than 30, you generally want to have, because when you think about it, the larger your pool is of potential buyers, the easier the sale will come. And when you're dealing with, say, less than 30 or less than 20, you just have a much smaller pool of businesses that you can sell the site to. I really like dealing with mom and pop types of businesses, roofers, contractors, builders, small builders, hair salons generally, beauty salons. Those are businesses where it's small mom and pop. It's a husband handling the workload and sometimes the wife handling the paperwork and the accounting type of situation or handling the schedule. So I like dealing with those smaller mom and pop businesses. Definitely, you don't have to stay out of these categories, but I personally, I do stay out of those categories. So let's talk about developing our first local cash machine. Okay. So the very first thing that we have to do is hopefully you've settled on at least one city and the type of business that you're going to be in. So for argument's sake, we're going to go into, let's say, we're going to go into auto repair. Okay. I've decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going into auto repair. I'm actually going to make a sister site here. I'm going into auto repair and I'm going to go into the city of. Hold on just one second. Alright, so I'm going in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And I've decided that I'm going to go auto repair because that's another one of those niches that I'm liking a lot lately. So what I'm going to do now is, okay, so you have a couple of different choices with your name, okay? I like it to be a .com or a .net, and I stay away from most other domain names. I don't like to get .orgs or .infos or .co's. So if we're gonna, sorry about that, if we're gonna go with our city that we're going with, right? We're going with Bridgeport, Connecticut, and auto repair. So what I want to do is I want to show you this cool little site that I just came across. Okay, and what I'm going to do is what you do is you type in your keywords. Okay, and it's going to give you a whole bunch of suggestions. Oh, I spelled it wrong. We're going to search. It's going to tell you what's available and what's not. So right off the bat, it's telling me Bridgeport Auto Repair is available. I see that there is a BridgeportAutoRepair.com that's already registered. What I like to do generally is if there's a .com registered but the .net is available, what I'll do is I'll look at the site. In this site, there's nothing set up. This is just a placeholder site. So I would go ahead and register BridgeportAutoRepair.net in a heartbeat. I would go ahead and I would, because that's exact keyword, that's exactly what we want. I'm going to keep looking. Bridgeport Car Repair, that's another good one. Like if we go to check for competition, right, we're going to go to Yellow Pages. We're going to change our location because we've just switched to Bridgeport. And we're going to look auto repair. There's going to be, I don't even have to look. There's going to be hundreds of results, I'm sure. Right. There are tons of results. And then I'm also going to go to Google and just type in Bridgeport Auto Repair. Okay. And Bridgeport Car Repair. There we go. I'd go with Bridgeport Car Repair, actually, because that's bringing up the map. I generally want to go with categories or keywords or domain name, okay? This is important. That do bring up the map because I want to be in these map listings eventually. And so I'm going to go over to GoDaddy now. And I've decided that we're going to go with Bridgeport Car Repair. Let me just paste that in this file. I recommend you do this, obviously. You want to keep track of everything. So we've determined our location is Bridgeport. We're going after auto repair or car repair. And let's see if this domain is available. Sometimes that website will say a domain name is available, but in reality, and unfortunately, sometimes they're not always available. But this one is, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we want to add it. So I'm going to click on that continue to registration. And GoDaddy they do give you some upsells, unfortunately. There'll be a little bit of stuff that you have to go through. I'm going to just log in here, okay? Because I already have an account. If you didn't have an account, you're still going to do everything that I'm about to do. I like to register my domain names for 1 year, just because it's less money. You could certainly do it for a longer time. And they're going to offer you all kinds of services. I always skip over those services. And I've got some... Oh, that just added. I didn't want that. Oh, okay, it didn't. Now, what I want to show you here, so we've got our checkout area now. Okay, everything is going to be the same. For you, you just need to, at this point, they're going to ask you to create an account, which creating an account is very easy. You'll just enter in your information, just go through it. When you get to this checkout screen, though, I have this code. It's called CJC749DOM. And if you hit apply, it's going to turn that $12 domain into only $8, $7.67. And I'm just rounding up because that's my choice. Give a few cents to those that are less fortunate. And then you're going to get down to the end here. And you're going to enter in your PayPal information. You can enter in, a credit card or a gift card if you have one. I don't recommend using a check because it'll take forever to get it. So we're going to enter in our PayPal information and just make sure that you agree to the terms. And we're going to place our order. So what we've done is we've just registered our domain name. And our domain name is Bridgeport Car Repair. And we're going after all the car repair businesses in Bridgeport. We're going to build a site. We're going to get it ranked on the very first page of Google, and then we're going to make some money from it. So that covers getting your domain name. Very easy. I hope no one had any problem with that. We're going to go use this domain bot to help find a domain name. Okay. When we find something that has our keywords in it, we're going to make sure that there's enough competition. So we're going to just check our category, make sure there's enough competition, make sure there's enough competition in Google, which There certainly is. There certainly is. There's 16 million different competing pages for that. And we have registered our domain name. Okay? And I use GoDaddy to register the domain names. Some people like Namecheap. It's the same basic principle. You enter in the domain name that you want on the homepage of GoDaddy. Okay? And you register the domain. They walk you through. It'll say next, next, do this, do that. And that's going to conclude this video. And I'm going to stop this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go on to... Actually, I'll keep this video going, and I'll just splice it at the end. So, don't move on, okay, until you have registered a domain name. Definitely, there's no reason to move on until you've registered a domain name. Just make sure that you have your location, which is going to be your city, plus the main keyword, which is going to be the business type or the service. So like a roofer would be Worcester Roofer, or roofing in Worcester, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get hosting, okay? And I do recommend that you get, it's called a reseller hosting account, okay? When you're starting, you don't need to get a reseller account. You can just get a regular account. But if you are going to set up 2 sites following this plan right away, you should get the reseller plan. And what a resale account does is it allows you to host multiple client sites. That's the main thing that it does. I use HostGator mainly because their service is excellent and their prices are nice and low, and anytime that I've ever had a problem with them, they have a very fast support system with a live chat, so they help quite a bit. I have this coupon code that you can do. Just go to HostGator, okay, and then use the coupon code 1 cent, and I'll show you what you want to do. Okay. What you're going to do, you're going to get to the home page of HostGator, and what you want to do is scroll down here to these reseller plans. Click on that View Reseller Plans. And what I want you to do is you're going to get this first account in Aluminum. Lets you host unlimited domains, unlimited subdomains. You get all kinds of free templates, everything, okay? And you get 50 gigabytes of space, which is enough to handle, 50 clients, really, without any problem. 500 gigabytes, once again, you can do 50 with that, no problem. Unlimited domains. It's only $19.96, and I'm going to give you, you use this, what you want to do, you want to enter in your domain name that you just registered, so we're going to enter in, we're going to enter in Bridgeport Car Repair. And because we already registered our domain name, make sure you go over here on the right where it says, I currently have a domain name. Paste in your domain name there. And right here in the coupon area, just hit 1 cent. Okay? And that's going to give you a real nice discount. You're going to be able to get, you can see your first month, it's only going to be $15, which is really cool. We got $9 off with that coupon. So what you want to do is, it's only like $15 a month right now. You're going to go ahead, fill out this information. Okay, make sure you select a username that you'll remember, then a security pin. You also want to make sure you remember that. Fill out all this. You can use your credit card or PayPal, and then just click on Create an Account. That's really easy. And this is where we're going to end this video right now. Actually, no, you can't move on now. Okay, you need to let about 10 minutes pass or so, all right, for that domain name to get into your account at GoDaddy. And what you're going to do is you're going to just log into GoDaddy. All right, you're going to click on your domains, and then from there, you're going to go to the domain name servers, and what I'll do is I'll stop this video because I want to keep it under 15 minutes here, and I'm going to show you how to set your name servers in the next video. Okay, so before we go on any further, before you go on any further, make sure that you go ahead and get yourself a hosting account. If you don't want to get a reseller account, okay, which I understand if you don't want to spend the money, you can certainly just go ahead and get one of their regular hosting plans. Don't get the hatchling plan, whatever you do. But if you get this right here, if you get the baby plan, okay, you'll be able to host a couple of sites with that. But I do recommend you get the reseller hosting account. And I'll see you in the next video.